joining us now, we have Rachel. Rachel, I want to thank you for coming down and spending some time with us.
You're welcome.
So, a little background. Were you from Arizona originally?
I was born here.
Okay. Yeah. And so you spent some time here, and then I believe you moved on to Oregon or something? And then you were involved with the Sheriff's Department?
Yes, I worked for the Sheriff's Department for 10 years in Oregon.
And capacity there?
I worked with administration. I did payroll. I did a little bit of everything, training and so on, detectives. Worked with the jail, the corrections officers, even dealt with inmates a little bit and trustees quite a bit. So I was in and out of the jail.
Pretty broad spectrum of, you covered a lot of bases
I
there.
did.
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's your viewpoints, or what do you see happening, from what you've worked with in Oregon to what's going on in Arizona?
Well, from what I have read in like the Arizona Daily Star and from what I've seen on TV, there is a vast difference between Maricopa County and the Sheriff's Department that I work for. I see a difference, I read about a difference in the way the inmates are fed, the respect that the inmates and the general public are given.
Okay, so with the Oregon Sheriff's Department, were they somewhat humane? Did they treat people civilized?
Well, yes, they did, because they were held accountable for this, and of course they didn't last long on the job if they did not follow the law as far as discrimination goes and treat the inmates as human beings.
Right, which is fairly apparent that it's not happening here.
From what I've read and seen on television, I really don't think so.
So, your viewpoint, what would you suggest how do we deal with this? What can we do? What steps can we take to?
For one thing that I have been wondering is, do the deputies and the corrections officers in Maricopa County have to have a psychiatric evaluation before they're hired? They certainly did in Oregon. They wouldn't hire them if they couldn't pass that. So, and I don't know, Board on Police Standards and Training, do they need to go through something like that in order to get their job? This I don't know about Arizona. I do know in Oregon, and so you get a very good quality of people.
But they're held accountable, the officers, deputies.
They are held accountable. Yes, they are.
And I understand, over the time myself hearing that you have to go through those psych tests and whatnot to see if you're fit to be an officer.
Oh, right.
And if you have 1, 2, 3 occurrences where, the public's mentioning, hey, I was wronged here or whatever, those deputies are looked at and dealt with.
Yes, they are. Absolutely, and I don't know if that's done or not done in Maricopa County, but my guess would be if the whole department is lax, then the accountability is lax too. So.
Well, we've chatted with a bunch of people today, and it seems like the concurring consensus is nothing is done to these deputies, and when they step out of the line or across the line and mistreat people, it just seems like it's swept under the rug. And
that can't work because of the type of people that you have to be in order to be law enforcement. You have to be held accountable for your behavior. You do.
Right, or you just build more resentment and more.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So.
Less likely for the public to want to work with you, or
Well, it instills fear,
Correct.
which is not a good thing.
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. No. So, is there anything that you would like to enlighten us with, perhaps, and how maybe we can go about changing this?
Oh, boy. Well, one thing is, of course, the new law has to be dealt with. That can't be, we just can't have that.
That's the immigration?
Just can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know. The sheriff is an elected official. Can voters vote him out? Can we change it that way? I don't know.
Well, that's the V word again. It's come up several times today in the interviews. It comes down to voting.
Yeah,
seriously.
it does. Yeah. So
Seriously.
people that care that's what they have to do is vote. So,
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so.
Well,
Thank
Rachel,
you.
we appreciate your time a
Okay,
bunch for coming down.
thank you.
And thanks for all your work in law enforcement and stuff that you've done. And we really appreciate to hear a positive side that law enforcement can treat people civilized
Oh,
and decent.
and they do, yeah, I know they do. So,
Okay, well, thanks a lot for coming down.
okay, you're welcome.